So tell me again how the dealership franchise system is better for customers than Tesla's approach to pricing. In this video, I'm responding to a tweet from Kathy Cruz and her thoughts on Tesla's pricing. She's an automotive digital retail advisor, and judging from her Twitter feed, she's not a big fan of Elon Musk or Tesla. So let's see what she has to say regarding car dealerships compared to Tesla and pricing of vehicles. Let's get into it. I'm Josh West, and this is Josh West 24/7. I'm a 15-year veteran of Legacy Automotive and a top performer in the field. In fact, I set multiple records for both gross profit and sales volume nationally. And I got a few things to say on Legacy Automotive. Kathy says in her tweet, "One of the best parts about the dealership franchise system is that when price adjustments are needed, it's done through rebates and incentives. Cutting retail prices publicly like this, i.e. Tesla, harms the brand and likely never recovers. Buyer perception is solidified at lower price." I simply responded and said this: dead wrong. Dealers sell at prices all over the map. Dealers sell over MSRP, under MSRP, even under invoice when it suits them. They add a litany of fees, hammer the customer on the back end by pushing a plethora of after-sales products, under allowances on trades, push incentivized finance programs to obtain larger finance reserves, and the list goes on. And then I left a link to one of my more recent YouTube videos, which I'll link up in the top here, regarding dealership finance back-end profits. You can have a look at that video and tell me what you think. I wonder if she had an opportunity to watch it. So let's get into the reason why Tesla reduces prices versus why do dealerships reduce prices. Tesla lowers their prices and raises their prices in line with their costs. Not that long ago, when the cost of shipping and the cost of manufacturing went to the moon, Tesla increased their prices. But also, as those costs have come down, they've logically reduced the prices along the way. Also, for a short time, Tesla did increase prices to help curb demand. Their order books were being overwhelmed, and they were still trying to get the Austin, Texas factory online production-wise and the Berlin Gigafactory online production-wise. Now that those have increased production significantly, obviously prices are coming back down. So we have two reasons, both manufacturing capacity and the cost to manufacture overall being reduced. Therefore, Tesla is lowering their prices, just as they said they would do. Now let's take a look at why franchise dealerships discount their vehicles alternatively. Dealerships discount vehicles that nobody wants and overcharge on vehicles that are in high demand. Dealerships are focused solely on short-term profits. Manufacturers hang them out to dry until they scream loud enough for extra rebates and incentives after being ram-packed with insane amounts of inventory and vehicles and models that are just not compelling enough for customers to buy. And so once they're completely overloaded and overwhelmed, if enough dealerships shout loud enough, then the manufacturer will step up with an incentive program on those vehicles. Even then, if those dealers don't move those vehicles in a certain period of time, eventually they'll age out of inventory. And what that means is that the manufacturer will then start pulling out the floor plan rebates and discounts and incentives that they gave to the dealership. And they'll even remove the incentives on the vehicles themselves. So now the dealership is stuck with old inventory that nobody wants, and they have no support from the manufacturer whatsoever. And as icing on the cake, if that dealership did not submit the incentive or rebate absolutely perfectly, when the manufacturer comes in and audits them, which the manufacturers do audit their dealerships for programs quite often, they see it as a way to, how should we say, regain a little bit of money. So what they do is they go through and they say, oh, well, you didn't cross this T and you didn't dot this I, and oh, well, you know what, this person didn't qualify. Well, the dealership sold and delivered the car months, possibly even a year ago, maybe even 2 years ago. Who knows how long back the audit is going on for. And the dealership gets charged back the full amount of the incentive money. What a great operation. But the public doesn't know about that, do they? So that begs the question, Which is better for the customer? The way that franchise dealerships discount and incentivize their vehicles, or the way that Tesla discounts its vehicles? Well, let's take a look at the two. When a dealership discounts a vehicle, their incentive programs are based on region and oftentimes even based on sales zone. For example, you could have a different sales zone within a state or within a province where they'll have a slightly different discount or incentive structure. These are not national discount incentives. Alternatively, when Tesla discounts a vehicle, it's the same price anywhere in the country. Because Tesla's purchase process is completely online and the prices are the same across the nation, there's no fear for a customer who's sitting in the middle of Louisiana to be paying more or less than a customer that's sitting in the middle of New York City. Alternatively, with a dealership, there's always a fear that somebody sitting at the desk next to you is paying less than you. Never mind in another state or province. There's no transparency with legacy automotive dealerships. And you say, well, those dealerships, they all get the same incentive program. Yes, they do. But they also have complete free reign. Oftentimes, dealerships won't even give the full incentive if the customer's willing to pay. What then? Is that fair? With Tesla's system of online transparent pricing, where the price is the same, whether it's been reduced or not, the same price coast to coast, that inspires far more buyer confidence than walking into a dealership and not knowing if the guy that you just rubbed shoulders with paid $5,000 less than you for the same truck. Tesla broadcasts its prices nationally in real time from coast to coast. That's a far more transparent approach than legacy franchise dealerships, who are as shady as humanly possible, and it's an absolute fight to get a price from them online or over the phone. Tell me in the comments below, am I wrong here? With Tesla, there's no fine print, there's no bait and switch, and there's no elaborate qualifications for these incentives and rebates that change all the time. I don't know how many times we had in different instances where we would have customers come into the dealership that I was working at for years, and they'd see an online advertisement or they'd see a newspaper advertisement back when we did those, and they would come in and say, oh, I'd like to buy this vehicle at this price. And we would have to say, oh, sir, well, do you have a purple jacket on? Do you have your socks pulled up? Were you born in 1980 or 1990? Do you have a red pickup truck to trade in? Do you own a ranch? Are you a farmer? Are you a policeman? And you run through this whole litany of nonsense qualifications to see if they qualified for the price that had already been advertised. Does Tesla do any of these ridiculous things? No. So tell me again how the dealership franchise system is better for customers than Tesla's approach to pricing. When it comes to pricing, Tesla is playing the long game. They're simply executing on their master plan that was clearly outlined way back in 2006, where they clearly stated that Tesla's goal is to drive down market and drive down pricing. Elon Musk has stated several times that a lower priced vehicle creates accessibility, not demand. Demand is a want, and accessibility is the ability to act on that demand. Franchise dealerships do the complete opposite. They try and artificially fabricate demand by making target vehicles more financially accessible. For example, oh, well, what if I could do the one in stock for a lower price? Or what if I could knock several $1,000s off the yellow one? It doesn't take a genius to see that Tesla's approach to pricing is far more customer friendly. Claiming that buyer perception is solidified at a lower price is at very least naive. The reality is that Tesla continues to improve their vehicles. Not only that, but they continue to drive their costs lower. And they told us they were going to do that in 2006. It's been on the internet for 14 years? Legacy Auto is just starting to have their heads spin because they can't figure out what Tesla's doing. And it's just the beginning. Follow along for more insights from someone who has spent over a decade and a half in Legacy Automotive. After reading my tweet and reviewing my profile, knowing full well that I have over a decade and a half experience in the very industry that she works in, Kathy Cruz has blocked me. Don't listen to what they say, folks. Watch what they do. We'll see you in the next one.